Welcome you back to the capital city. A 2-1 lead for Clarinda over the Jefferson City Renegades as we begin the fourth inning at Ernie Vivian Field. Thank you so much, Kerrick Jackson, skipper of the Mizzou Tigers, joining us here for this fourth inning. Pleasure to speak with you. We look forward to a great conversation. What did you see tonight out of your pitcher, Will Libbert, in his start?
Obviously, he was a little bit nervous. His first start in over a year, right, almost 2 years. So to be able to come out and kind of feel his way around and manage the adrenaline and the idea and desire of being able to, get some strikes in there. And so, yeah, I just think the adrenaline got the best of him, but he competed, and I think first time out is pretty good.
You've also gotten to see a couple other of your Mizzou Tigers, Cale Wilson on the mound right now. What have you seen out of his command tonight? He's had a few strikeouts, but obviously he's a walker strikeout type of pitcher, but he's had a little bit of both here tonight.
Yeah, he is. I think, we're just standing there back behind and just hoping for him to get a little bit more on line. And when he's on line and stays directional to the plate, everything works pretty well. Really good arm, good secondary stuff, big physical frame. So we want to be able to hopefully harness that, with him coming in next year and get him to make a couple adjustments and see what we can get out of him.
I'm curious, I'm sure the people are at home as well. When you talk about a projectable size, obviously his height and his weight and his strong body being a football player background, what does that mean to you as far as the developmental aspect or the potential that a guy has like that with a frame?
Yeah, you scout bodies first. Whenever you go someplace, you're looking at the bodies and looking what's out there, and then you want to see how they move. Are they athletic movers? And then obviously then you look at what they can do and how they can help you and the program be successful. And when you got someone like him who has a big physical frame, for his size, he's a good mover. And so now once we get him on campus and be able to make some adjustments with him and find out what the aptitude is his ability to make adjustments. And I think if he can do that, he's been up to 95 miles an hour previously. And so we just got to figure out how do we get to that consistently.
Here's Kai Holiday after that strikeout with one away. He takes that pitch outside. You also got to see Tyler Macon drive home and run on that fielder's choice. You got to see him work in your program this past spring. What do you like to see out of Tyler Macon, especially in his development here over the summer?
Yeah, just for him to get the pace of the game and slow it down. Last year he was a true freshman force, very athletic, determined, competitor. He's a grinder, but he just needs to slow the game down. I think that there's certain things that you can do at the high school level that once you move up to college level, and specifically Division I, and even then more specifically the SEC, you have to be able to slow the game down. If the game speeds up on you, it makes it tough for you to play. So.
Kai Holiday with a drive to right field. Cam Lee with good speed, able to charge and make the grab for out number 2. Well, this will be your second season upcoming in 2025. You're able to get a 23-32 record this past season, a sweep over Florida, a team that made the World Series semifinals. What was just your experience your first time through with Mizzou?
Yeah, it was just the focus was on changing the culture and getting our guys to understand the process that is necessary to put us in a position to win. Many times, you come in and everybody expects you to win right away, and at this level, you got to have things and you got to have a level of consistency that puts you in a position to be successful. And 14 of our losses this year were 2 runs or less, and that just comes down to executing one more pitch, getting a bunt down, having one more quality at bat, moving a runner up in another situation, making one more play. And so we were close, but we just need to understand that those things are necessary in order for us to be successful.
Swing and a miss. 2-ball, 1-strike count to Caruso. When you look at the summer development, part of what held your team back this past spring was just the amount of injuries that you had, especially in your pitching rotation and your overall depth. That was really challenged. That adds to the summer development off season. What do you want your guys to focus on in their time off?
So a lot of it is strength. When you looked at our team this year and you looked at other teams in the SEC, the difference in physicality was noticeable. You got somebody like a Jackson Lovich who's 6'5", 190 pounds, and then you have Cags for Florida, who's 6'6", 240 pounds. And so it's just being able to get our guys. We got a lot of guys that are staying back this summer and lifting and getting more physical because balls that we were hitting that were getting to the track, other guys are hitting and they're going over the fence. And so just that little difference. I mean, the SEC is a man's league, and so you have to be ready to jump in there and have the physicality to be able to do so.
And you've coached a lot of different levels, even in the MIAA with Emporia State for a short time. You've been almost in every level. There's a fly ball into shallow left center field. Shading over is Braden O'Neill to make the grab in the gap. And we'll continue our conversation as we go to the bottom of the fourth with Clarinda still leading 2-1. Welcome you back to Ernie Vivian Field. Clarinda, 2-1 lead over Jefferson City. We're continuing our conversation with the skipper of Mizzou, Kerrick Jackson. It's a pleasure for you to join us here tonight. We were talking a little bit about the different levels. Think about Cale Wilson coming from the junior college level, Will Libert, Tyler Macon coming out of high school, Blair Oaks and Kirkwood. And you talked a little bit about them in the top half, but what are the big differences you've seen in your experience in your time being on a coaching staff, seeing all the different levels?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's that. It's just the level of play and the ability level of each different level of play. Like you said, being from high school to junior college to Division II, lower mid-major Division I schools, and it's just at each level you just get just a little bit better style of play, a little bit cleaner style of play, and in each one of those levels, at the height of the level, you're going to have quality play. So it's just being able to play the game at a proficient level.
And you were able to do something special at Memphis in your last year there, getting their most wins since 2017. And you even get your new athletic director here at Mizzou, Laird Veach. What is that relationship like, just with continuing that with Veach over from Memphis and just keeping that relationship?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, was excited when I took the job at Memphis. I thought that's where we were going to be. Obviously, Mizzou has always been my dream destination, and didn't know if the opportunity was going to present itself, but found a home at Memphis and knew that we were going to be able to do some great things there. And oddly enough, Mizzou was the one place I told him that if I had a chance, I'd leave for, which he understood because he also said that Mizzou was the same thing for him. So, yeah, we had a great relationship at Memphis. He understands the importance of baseball. He understood the importance of it there. He definitely understands the importance of it here. And so to be able to have him come over and take Desiree's place, I couldn't have been in a better situation.
I think it's interesting, too, with your background. You've been all across the Midwest, but even in your time at Southern and Memphis, as there's a drive down the right field, right into right foul territory and out of play from Hemmer, 3-2 count, nobody out. You've been able to see the regionality of the game. Do you see any differences as far as when you're recruiting, the personality differences with guys from the South versus guys from the Midwest?
You know what? There's some, but not terribly different. I mean, I think there's a
fly ball in center field, and there's the grab by Kai Holiday for out number one.
Yeah, even in Missouri, when you're recruiting kids from the Midwest, there's certain parts of Missouri that there's a Southern aspect to how they were raised and how they go about their business. And so there's some subtle differences. You really notice it when you start to go to the East Coast and you get to the Northeast part of the country, or you go to the upper Midwest part of the country.
There's Dane Gray at the plate. And we're talking with Mizzou head coach Kerrick Jackson here with us on MC22 with Clarinda taking on Jefferson City. 2-1 lead for the A's. And there's a good drive by Dane Gray into right center field, but there is the speed from Laith Holiday to cover the gap to retire out number two. What is your building philosophies that you're trying to carry over, your main principles from Memphis now here to Mizzou?
Just play the game clean. I think that's the one thing, is that when people look at the SEC, we automatically get attracted to the stars. And there are stars in our league, but the league isn't full of stars. The league is full of high caliber, quality players that play the game at a very, very high level fundamentally. And so for our guys, the beauty of that is it really doesn't matter who we're playing against. If we play the game the right way, we put ourselves in a position to be in every single game. And then you have your outliers, guys that can change the game on the mound or change the game at the plate. But the emphasis has to be on playing the game the right way.
Hard hit ball right into left field at Tyler Macon, and the Mizzou Tiger makes the grab to retire the side. Kerrick Jackson, thank you so much for your time with us, and we look forward to seeing Mizzou here in this next season.
All right, thank you. MIZ.
ZOU.